So you're nominated for your wonderful work in The Descendants. What made you decide to take that role?
Alexander Payne. Alexander Payne made me decide to take that film because he is a director who at that point had directed 4 films, Citizen Ruth, Election, about Schmidt, and Sideways, and I thought all 4 films were great. So he hadn't made a bad film, so I wanted to work with him.
You said that you couldn't have done that role 5 years ago. What does that mean?
Well, I just don't think I was in the right, I just don't think I would have cast me in the role 5 years ago. I think that he needed to be 50 and he needed to be sort of feel the weight of being 50, which is a very different feeling than it is being 45.
How was your experience filming in Hawaii?
Well, look, some people have to do it, you know. I loved it. I mean, I wish I could say something bad about it. You're shooting in Hawaii, you know. We were on the main island, then we were on Kauai, and it was perfect. I mean, honestly, the weather there is great. The people are lovely. The only flaw I can find is that on the freeway with no traffic, they drive 45 miles an hour. That'll make a man go mad.
Do you wear any of the Hawaiian shirts from the movie?
Listen, I'd like to, because they're so flattering. I was given a few, and I save them and wear them by myself alone, whenever possible.
How was the experience of working with the young actors in the film? Some of them, it was their first film ever.
I didn't care for that. The children, I didn't care for. Well, first of all, Shailene is not even, I mean, she's a full-grown, full-on actor. Amara, it was her first gig. Nick, sort of his first gig. He's done little things before. And they were great. I mean, Nick, I just adore, was so much fun. And Amara was just a blast, you know. It was funny to watch her not know what to do on a set, and me not explaining it to her made me laugh a lot.
Have you seen all of the actors' performances that you were nominated with for an Oscar?
Yes, I have. I've seen all 4 of the other.
And what do you think about this up-and-comer Brad Pitt?
Listen, I think if he sticks it out, and I'm not sure he will stick it out because, you know, who knows. But if he sticks it out, he's got a good shot, and even, you know, there's always dinner theater for him. And I think he would be very good in like a road production of The 7-Year Itch, that kind of thing. If he doesn't make it, he's still got that option open.
And what do you think about people referring to the artist star Jean Dujardin as the French George Clooney?
I think he would be very insulted by that. I think he would be very angry by it. Damien Bashir, somebody was saying he was the Mexican George Clooney, and I was like, boy, these poor guys are getting really the worst side of it. I am actually the American Jean Dujardin.
You have said that in the past that you've accepted movie offers without a script from directors such as the Coen brothers and Alexander Payne. Mm-hmm. Name another director you would accept a movie without a script.
I don't know. I don't know that there would be another. You know, Alexander and Joel and Ethan. I have friends of mine that I'd work with if they called up and said, let's work again. You know, I'd love to work with Steven Soderbergh again. I'd love to work with Jason Reitman again. Tony Gilroy and I are friends. I have a bunch of directors I'd like to work with again. Just straight up, here, let's work together. I don't have a script. I don't know, not many. There aren't many.
Are there actors whose work helped inspire you to become an actor?
Well, there are actors that inspired me when I was younger. I mean, if you watch Montgomery Clift in A Place in the Sun, that's as good as you'll ever get. And he was sort of the first of the very real actors. Watch sort of how he separates from old star Hollywood acting in films like Red River and The Heiress and films like that. But then the old version of that is, there's a whole group of those Stanley Kramer films that Spencer Tracy was doing toward the end of his life. Judgment, Nuremberg, and Inherit the Wind, and Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. You watch Spencer Tracy and it's pretty inspiring watching how he was always a version of Spencer Tracy, but you couldn't take your eyes off of him. So they were inspiring actors.
You've worked with some of the biggest leading ladies in Hollywood. Is there anyone you haven't worked with that you'd like to?
Now, when you say biggest leading ladies, you have to be careful how you say that, because you will insult someone. Anybody I haven't worked with, I just finished a film with Sandy Bullock, which I loved working with, and she's been a friend for a long time.
What movie is that? Is that Gravity?
Gravity, yeah. And with Alfonso Cuarón directing. And yeah, I mean, there's plenty of actresses that I'd like to work with that I haven't had a chance to work with. I haven't gotten to do any screen time with Meryl. I'd love to do that because we just played Mr. and Mrs. Fox, but we didn't get to spend time on camera together. But there's a whole list of actors that I'm such a fan of. I love Emily Blunt. She's a little young to play opposite. Maybe I could play her old uncle or something like that. But there's a lot of actresses that I'd love to work with.
What's the most fun you've ever had on movie set?
Ocean's films were pretty fun. I mean, I hate to say it because they looked like they were fun, but they were. Because there was this group of 11, 12, 13, however many guys it was there, the director, everyone there with somewhat of the same purpose, which is we enjoyed making films and we also enjoyed each other's company, and that's very hard to find everybody with the same purpose in mind. There wasn't anybody saying, I'll come on the set when the other guy gets on the set. There wasn't any of that. There was just people spending time together, and that was fun.
Lots of practical jokes?
There were quite a few. There was Don Cheadle is pretty evil. Brad's pretty evil. Matt's not the kindest person you could ever imagine. Yeah, there were some dark things going on.
You have a practical joke plan for Brad Pitt that you say is going to end his career. When is this going to happen?
When his career ends. I'm going to time it.
Do you have a guilty pleasure television show that you watch?
I like Intervention, just to see how I should handle myself. I do actually like Intervention. I was going to make a joke, but I do like that show. I mean, I have a lot of them. I mean, it's not a guilty pleasure because it's everybody's pleasure, but I love Modern Family. I just think it's the best show on television. So it's fun to watch.
You have your beautiful home in Lake Como, Italy. How often do you get out there?
Well, I go usually in mid-June, and that's when the weather starts to get really nice. And I try to stay through till September. At least have it sort of ground central for me.
How's your Italian?
Non parlo italiano molto bene, mi dispiace.
With the Prop 8 ruling this morning, do you see the fight for marriage equality going to the federal level? And I know you're going to be in Descendants Black's Play 8.
Mm-hmm. The ruling this morning, today, what's today, the 7th, wasn't all that, there's not a great amount of momentum for it. It's good. Basically, it's saying that if you give everyone in California, and only in the state of California, all of the rights of marriage, and you don't give them the title married, then that is a discrimination and it's unconstitutional. That's a pretty small step, and I think that they're going to still push it and take it probably to the full version of the Ninth Court. And if they do that, hoping to get more judges on their side, then push it to the Supreme Court, that would probably be what I would guess is going to happen. I think that all of this is just very long, slow steps towards equality, and I think that all of that is this is the last leg of the civil rights movement, and I think it'll all, it's generational. There'll be a bunch of 10-year-old kids when they're grown up won't even understand that there was ever an issue, and I think they'll laugh about it like we do about separate drinking fountains.